Good afternoon, Miss. I am Luis Bagasan, together with my group mates Camille Cruz, Micah Facunla, Camille Mangulabnan, and Jiliane Villanueva. Today, we are going to present our international business plan. First, we will discuss all about our chosen country, to be followed by our exporting country. Our origin country is Cambodia, and we will export our product, banana sugar, in Colombia. With the introduction, Cambodia is a country that has a mixed economic system which it defines as a planned economy with markets in which the economy incorporates a range of individual freedoms alongside centralized economic planning and government supervision.
For profile outline, Cambodia, located on Southeast Asia's Indo-Chinese mainland, is a region of plains and rivers, nestled between vital overland and river trade routes connecting China, India, and Southeast Asia. Next slide.
For the geographical structure, the area is Cambodia with an area of 180,000 kilometers. For the cities, Phnom Penh, Battambang, and Siem Reap are the greatest and largest city. For the terrain, low-lying core alluvial plain. For the bodies of water, Mekong River and the Tonle Sap Large Lake are the known for in Colombia. And for the climate, monsoon winds, heavy rainfall, and high humidity. Next slide.
For the people is divided into seven parts, which is the nationality, population, density, ethnic groups, religion, languages, education, and health. For the nationality, their nationality will be the Cambodian. For the population density, 95 persons per square kilometers. Ethnic groups is the Khmer, religions is the Buddhist, and their languages will be the Khmer language. Their education is run by ethnic and religious monitories such as Chinese, Muslim, French, English, and Vietnamese, and private higher education is mostly provided in the country's capital. For the health, it is divided into two parts. First is the life expectancy that has increased by more than 6 years between 2000 and 2019 from 66.8 years in 2000 to 73.4 years in 2019. For the infant mortality rate, 20.173 deaths per 1,000 live births in 2022, down to 4.2% from 2021. Next slide.
For the government, the type, Cambodia is a constitutional monarchy with a multi-party democracy, and their independence is November 9, 1953. For the suffrage, Cambodian government has actively suppressed independent and opposition voices in order to ensure that the ruling party has complete political control. Next slide. Major political parties of Cambodia, Hun Sen, the current prime minister, and Khmer Rouge Defector leads the Cambodian People's Party (CPP), the Sam Rainsy Party led by Sam Rainsy, the popular former finance minister, is the main opposition party. United Front for an Independent, Neutral, Peaceful, and Cooperative Cambodia, and more recently the Sam Rainsy Party have dominated the Cambodian politics. CPP strengthened its grip on power by getting a constitutional reform through parliament that allows a government to be formed with a 50% plus one majority in the National Assembly. Next slide.
Cambodia's GNP for 2020 was 24.95 billion, a 1.03% decline from 2019, while Cambodia's GNI per capita for 2020 was $1,490, a 2.61% decline from 2019. Next slide. For their natural resources, Cambodia's key natural resources include gemstone, gas, oil, phosphates, manganese, iron ore, and timber.
Agriculture. Rice is by far Cambodia's main crop with a total production of 9.95 million tons in 2016. Cambodia exported 635,679 tons of rice in 2017. Exported varieties are typical of high quality as evidenced by the world's best rice. Next slide. Further products and industries.
Wait lang, na ano yung slide. Game, ulit.
Further products and industries. Key industries include garment and light manufacturing, food and beverage processing, construction and real estate, tourism, as well as the emerging mining and exploration industry. Next slide.
For the trade, it was divided into three parts: mining, manufacturing, and tourism. For the mining, small-scale quarries producing construction materials such as laterite, marble, granite, limestone, gravel, sand, and potential gold findings. For the manufacturing, garment and light manufacturing, food and beverages processing, construction and real estate, tourism, and the developing mining and exploration industry. Next slide.
Now, for the currency, we have two currencies of Cambodia, USD, United States dollar, and Cambodian real. Cambodia's official currency is the US dollar, but the Cambodian real is currently marginally used. Some of the products are posted in payment of both currencies right now, as the country has an official dual currency system running continuously, and the USD dollar is accepted as well. Now, relation to US currency. Cambodian currency had shared some relationship with the US currency when the US dollar has been the official currency of Cambodia. It was when the arrival of United Nations peacekeepers during the 1993 election that brought the interchange with the Cambodian real. Next slide.
For their transportation inland, they have bus, train, taxis, and mobile phone ride-hailing applications such as Grab, XNet, and PassApp. In air, Phnom Penh International Airport, Angkor International Airport, Sihanoukville International Airport, and the new national airline Cambodia Angkor Air was launched in 2009. Next slide. In water, Cambodia's main ferry services cross the Basaak River in the middle of Mekong River. Aero Cambodian Airline offers a seaplane services to all waterways and islands. Cambodia has two major ports, the Phnom Penh Autonomous Port and the Sihanoukville Autonomous Port, and a merchant marine has a total of 621 ships. Next slide.
For communication, television in Cambodia is widely available, providing UBC programming from Thailand as well as other satellite networks. For newspaper in Cambodia, there are over 100 newspapers, but only a few have regular publication schedules and paid personnel because many publications are owned by political groups or individuals. Next slide. Telephones. Mobile phone systems are widely used in urban areas to bypass deficiencies in the fixed line network. Mobile phone coverage is rapidly spreading in rural areas. Next slide.
Our product is banana sugar, which known in Cambodia that is alternative to the traditional sugar. It is a unique and healthy product that provides more benefits for our health. The product contains 100% banana that has several vitamins and minerals, particularly of vitamin B, C, vitamin C, potassium, magnesium, and manganese. Cambodia is abundant in fruits, including banana, which is the reason why there are a variety of products that contains banana. In terms of the packaging of the product, it is resealable plastic that keeps the contents safe for a long time. The products can be securely locked in with a seal that does not allow any spillage or contamination. These bags can be opened and closed several times without losing their locking ability. The shelf life of the banana sugar could last up to 2 years, so it is an ideal product for exporting. Next slide.
The possible change that may occur before exporting the product is the possibility that the packaging itself could stale. This means that insect and pests could damage the product, which will result in several problems, including the quality of the packaging and the product itself. Due to the exposure of the product, the air could affect the quality of the product, making the sugar into a big lump. To avoid this instance, the cargo should be checked so that it is dry, not damp or wet, and free from pest or mold. Next slide.
Social cultural factors. Sales of the product are always affected by social and cultural factors, which are a daunting challenge for the business to overcome. To export a product in Colombia from Cambodia, a lot of restraining factors that the business product will need to go through to be able to venture successfully. Specifically, the intense market competition constantly exists in the exporting country. Several residents choose products made by their own country and other countries venturing products as well. It will be hard for the sales of product to increase. A product from Cambodia might lose some consumer or customers due to having various choices. With that, the product trends, customers and consumer preferences and lifestyle must be noticed by the business, which is also part of social and cultural factors. Other social factors, social classes and their influence on the society, average disposable income level, a wealth of people, economic inequalities, level and access to healthcare, and health consciousness in society, buying habits, and consumer preferences. Other cultural factors, lifestyle, social media influence versus traditional media, and dominant communication technology in social groups. Next slide.
For the geography of the country, the area of the Colombia covers 1,138,103 square kilometers and has a total coastline of 3,207 kilometers, spanning the Caribbean Sea to the North Pacific Ocean. The cities in Cambodia is the world's 26th largest country by the area, with a population to match with a population of about 46 million people. Terrain. Colombia is a country of contrast. The towering snow-capped volcanoes and mountains of the Andes flow through its heart. Bodies of water. Colombia is one of the most water-rich countries in the world. Climate. The country's climate is mainly tropical and isothermal with no discernible seasons due to its proximity to the equator. Temperatures are rather consistent throughout the year. The amount of the annual precipitation is only truly variable climatic factor. Next slide.
Bogota is the capital city of Colombia. As Colombia's largest economic center, Bogota is home to most domestic companies' headquarters. Colombia's economic situation is reflected in its capital positive indicators. Bogota has a favorable climate for business. In 2021, Bogota's GDP accounted for 25% of Colombia's total 79.47 billion US dollars. Next slide.
Legal factors that could affect exporting activities. Sanitary permit. Products used as raw materials by the food industry or HRI sector in food preparation do not need an INVIMA registration, but they do need a sanitary permit from the ICA and must comply with the labeling regulations. Health certificates. The health certificates must be issued by a competent authority involved in food safety regulation, including federal, state, and in some cases, municipal entities. DIAN Customs. This declaration includes the same information contained on the export registration form and other information, such as the duty and sales tax paid and the bank where these payments were made. Next slide.
Market potential. The target market of the product will be primarily the resident in Bogota. The product contains 100% banana that has several vitamins and minerals. It is suitable for people ages 4 years old and above. Next slide.
Methods identified for using it. Shit. I know. Methods for contacting potential buyers. For product Cambodia to export to Colombia requires some significant methods in approaching potential buyers to analyze the marketability of chosen product. The following methods enable the business to keep in touch in the market. First is to familiarizing the market. Start communicating with other producers or who are already operating in the market. Second, choose an appropriate market that matches the capabilities. Choosing an appropriate market that matches the capabilities of the business provides some good outcomes to sell the product. Third, make contact through a telephone call because most conversations are made through telephone call rather than personal conversations due to some typical reasons. Fourth, last, clearly explain the details of the product. The business should be very detailed in explaining the product they are selling when the buyer shows interest in buying the product. Explain the pricing, quality, volume, quantity, etc. Next slide.
Estimated sales for product or service based on the country size, market, demand, and competition. The table shown above is the total estimate sales for 5 years from 2022 to 2026 in Bogota, Colombia. The price of the banana sugar per piece is $4.5. Next slide.
Export transaction details. A number of countries impose export limits and the controls similar to those imposed on imports. The following export restriction can be identified and classified based on their goal. Export restriction are one sort of the action used in developing nations where domestic tax collection mechanisms are underdeveloped to produce fiscal income. Export limits like import restriction are occasionally employed not simply to learn fiscal revenue from exports. When a country runs out of food, export limits on the food are often implemented to ensure enough local supply. Investment-related export demand. As a condition of allowing investment, the implementation of particular measures may be required performance requirement. Next slide.
The general documentation requirements for Colombia are custom import declaration, manifest declaration of dutiable value, commercial invoice, pro forma invoice, packing list, certificate of origin, RC, waybill, bill of lading, and single tax register of importer. Next slide.
This figure shows the exporting time from goods inspection, packaging, obtaining delivery request, container filling and sealing, arranging for intermodal transportation, transfer of cargo to the loading point, clearance, transfer documents to the shipping company, sending the bioregional bill of landing up to departing of goods in Colombia, have a total of 76 days or 3 months.